Welcome to Inside Gulliver Athletics. I'm Athletic Director Ira Childress. In the studio with me is Gulliver football head coach, Coach Sims. And you want to introduce the student athletes that are with us today?
Yes, we have two. We have senior receiver Amin Hassan and also sophomore quarterback Carson Haggard.
Coach, you guys are off to a 4-0 start this year. You're playing really, really good football. Around the state, people are starting to take notice of Gulliver prep football. What does that mean to you as someone who's been here a long time?
It means a lot. The groundwork had been laid in the summer, and just to have the optimism was high at the beginning of the season, and just to have the early success during the season, and people. It takes a while, but people will notice. But it means a lot because the people that have come before this present regime they've been coming back to games, and I've been getting phone calls and things from alumni just saying how they're excited about the season. They're following Gulliver football still.
I mean, you're a senior, and this is your last ride, as they say. You guys are 4-0. What are you seeing that's different from this year from previous years?
Just really our energy. We take it as we really be high with our energy. We take one game at a time. We always stay positive, no negative in us. And we just all make sure we come together as a team and stay as a team, make sure nobody breaks our bond. Carson,
sophomore, first year, full-time starting. How does it feel to be under center and be on an offense that's so prolific?
It's different this year. I feel like together our offense has really connected as one. We've been putting points on the board, and then just give great credit to my O-line and my receivers because, they do all the hard work and they're making me look good. So I think we're just playing very well, and we're going to keep on doing it throughout the season.
Coach, how are you keeping the team motivated? You're 4-0 for the first time since 2013. Everyone's talking about you. How do you keep people from reading Twitter and Instagram and feeling really good about themselves, knowing that you still have a whole half a season to go?
Something that's special to me is we have reflection time, so we reflect every week about the week prior, and it's a time for us to connect, reflect, and then refocus on our goals. So what it allows us to do is speak about the past, but continue to look forward to the future.
You have Kings Academy coming up this week. A year ago, they were state runners-up. I know you guys have had a lot of good games in the past. What do they look like this year?
They're the same team. They're very well coached. They have a few athletes on the team, and what we have to do is make sure that we continue to execute the game plan that we have set forward.
So, when you look at Kings Academy, a couple years ago, they were able to beat us at their place. Last year, you guys were able to beat them here. Now you're going back to their place. You know it's going to be a hostile crowd. What are you telling the offense as one of the leaders out there to prepare for this big game?
Really just to stay disciplined, be as a team, don't get out of character, don't try to do too much, just do what you can do, get what you can do as a skill player. Just be patient with the game plan. Anything possible can happen during the game.
Carson, we were talking before the show. You were able to watch film on Kings Academy. You kind of know some of their tendencies and what they want to do. As a quarterback, when you see that, are you going into things with a lot of pre-snap reads, saying, "Hey, here's where I'm going with the ball," or do you say, "Hey, you know what? I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna kind of stay in the flow of the game and see what happens"?
Well, I just try to focus on whatever I can control and play how I play. I like to just play the same against every team, and as I watch film, just prepare and control what I can control. And as long as we play our game and we don't let the crowd or the team or the refs mess us up, or if we just focus on how we play, then we can dominate.
Coach, I want to go deeper off the field. I know you guys have been writing some journals. You've been doing some things. This last week we had faculty appreciation. We brought the team over to connect with the faculty. So talk about Gulliver football and what it means off the field.
So there are several different things that are all-encompassing of Gulliver football. It's not just the play on the field. We want to be difference makers in the community. We want to make sure that we call ourselves a family, and so we have family talk. That's when we sit down and we connect. And what it's shown me is that we have a lot of kids who are very, very well versed in expressing themselves through pen. okay? And some of the things that we talk about are life events. Last week we were talking about 9/11 and just some things that are current events and things of that sort. We're working on our first community outreach program, and so it's several other things that are tied to Gulliver football, not just the game.
That's very important because sometimes when people see you guys on the field, they don't realize it's a holistic approach to your program where you're football, your academics, and you're also in the community, and you also, have really high character student athletes. So that's very important. Amin, I know you had a recent commitment to Navy, the midshipmen. I know that they got a great football program there. Talk about that and what it means to go to Navy.
It means a lot to me. It's a lot to me and my family that I made that decision because I felt like it was a good move for me. I love the atmosphere when I went up there, so I feel I'll be very comfortable. Then talking down with the coaches, I was very comfortable with me. It was very comfortable for me, so I had the confidence to make the decisions I had to do, and I feel good right now being committed to Naval Academy.
An early prediction on Army-Navy game?
I believe Navy going to win.
Really like that. Carson, you're having an outstanding year so far. I believe you have 11 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. What would you attribute that to?
I just contribute to how hard we worked during this summer and how hard I've worked up to this point, and just my coaches preparing me for this opportunity to finally step on the field and be the starter. And I think that all the hard work that the team and I have done not only this summer but just leading up to this point has really prepared me and the team for what's coming for this season.
Okay. Now I'm going to ask you one more question, Coach. What would you say, with the half a season left, is the most pivotal thing for you guys to finish strong?
So it's funny you asked that. We just had a conversation about making sure that we improve. So everybody is doing self-reflection, and they're basically unpacking their luggage and making sure that where we're headed, we can get on the plane, right? So some things we can't take with us. So it's about self-improvement and making sure that we all individually improve so that we can collectively move forward as a team in the program. So I would say, just improvement overall, really.
Yeah. Well, good luck the rest of the way. I'm looking forward to following the team.
Appreciate it.
Stay tuned. We'll be back in a minute.
Want a quick snack before classes? Stop by the atrium during first break for a variety of bagels, $1.50 each. All proceeds are going to sponsor faculty riders at the Dolphins Cancer Challenge on February 29th.
Mike.
Welcome back to Inside Gulliver Athletics. We have our volleyball program with us now. Head coach Julio Arnaz. Coach, you want to introduce your student athletes?
Of course, thank you. We have Kat Betrich, our senior right side hitter, and we have Isabella Sacran, our senior outside hitter.
Awesome. Coach, this is your first year here at Gulliver. Talk about how your first year is going and the season's going so far.
Well, as our first year coach, we're trying to bring, new standards, new culture to the program. We've played really good competition so far. We're not where we want to be right now, but we're pushing hard, and the girls are working hard to get to where we want to be.
Where do you want to be? Elaborate a little bit more.
We want to be a program that, people want to come watch us play, that are fun to watch, offensively oriented, high energy team. It takes some time, but, we feel that we're very close to our goal. And we talked about that on Friday, and I believe we're, a step away from it.
Isabella, we're going to turn to you now. This is obviously a big season for you. How's it going so far?
I think it's going well. I think when we think about it as a team, I think we're growing as a team. I think we all get along really well. And then individually, I think Coach Julio's made us all really a lot better. I think everyone's improved a lot since the first day of tryouts until now. And I think we work together really well. We have a really tough schedule that I don't think anybody was ready for. Doral is a really good team. The little, what's the conference that we're called?
The Palm League.
Yeah, that's a really good conference. So I think we're doing well for what we have.
Kat?
I think we've all improved tremendously as a team and individually, and I think that we've had some really good games so far that we've played really well together. So I'm excited to see how we're going to improve the rest of the season and work hard.
Speaking of the rest of the season, Coach, if you're going to make that improvement, give me 3 or 4 keys to doing that.
Well, we always talked about, just improving 1% every day. You can't just take a big jump in one practice. Our goal is 1% better every day. Finding consistency, that's crucial for us. Some games we start a little slow, some games we start really fast, and then we drop the level. So consistency is the second one. I would say the last one, sacrifice. Sacrifice as a team on the court, and off the court. I think those are the 3 main, things that we have to emphasize on the rest of the year.
When you talk about from an offensive standpoint, obviously when people come to the games, Isabel, they see you with these big spikes. Is there something that you would attribute that to? You're really good on the outside.
I think I've always had really good training. I started volleyball with Coach Julio actually, and I think that was a good start. But I've never really played outside, so him really teaching me where to swing and how to swing and stuff like that. And then also for club, I play a really intense team with a lot of competition in the gym. So having just to swing harder than everyone else and hit higher than everyone else really helps me raise the competition.
Kat, you're having a great season as well. What would you attribute that to?
Recently I just became a right side. Okay. This is my first season actually playing right side. I've always been a middle, so it's been quite challenging so far to transfer to kind of a new position, but Coach Julio has helped me a lot and try to speed up my swing, and I've had to work with the setters a lot, so I get my timing correct. And I think that working with the setters as well as the other passers and hitters, it helps me a lot know how to play in the position better.
Okay. Coach, we don't have a chalkboard in here. I wish we did, because I would have you draw up some things. Talk about rotations. I'm watching volleyball, and I always want to know, hey, when you say get into the right rotations, what does that mean?
Well, in volleyball, the way we do rotations, at least in our program, is offensive oriented. So you want to have your best hitters around your weaknesses. So you always try to have at least one player that that can put points on the board for us and move the rotation. And the second biggest thing for me is to have the setter as close as possible to her setting position. That way the setter is comfortable in every rotation, so you just have to run across the court. And when we face teams that do that, we definitely pick on that. And I'm really big on them understanding the game, not just doing it. So they also pick on that stuff. And last Friday showed we picked a lot on some of their weaknesses, and it helped us stay in the game.
I appreciate that. My volleyball IQ just went up. Isabella, I want you to think about this for a second. You don't have to answer right away, but maybe you will answer right away. What is your favorite volleyball moment thus far?
Like in Gulliver?
At Gulliver.
Like this year?
No, any year. It could be any year. You have a moment that really sticks out. Say, you know what, I really enjoyed beating this team. I really enjoyed this particular game. Or is it something that really kind of sticks out? Kat, think about this because you're next.
Sophomore year, we beat Ransom and won districts.
Oh, nice.
And that was really fun because not only have we not won districts in a really long time, but the seniors were like some of my best friends, and they were leaving. So like getting to really have a big win like that with them really meant a lot to me and to them.
I would say this season, in one of our first games when you played Doral, it was a really tough game, but it was really fun. We actually worked really hard as a team, and at the beginning of the season, I personally didn't expect us to play that well together as a team, but I thought we came together and we fought really hard, and I think that tomorrow we're gonna do the same. Yeah.
Coach, do you have anyone that sticks out in your mind?
I would say Friday. I mean, I felt, Friday when we played Ransom, we took a huge step forward as a team. On the little things, I think volleyball and sports in general, it's all about the little things. If you do the little things right, the big things are going to happen. And we started to do the little things consistent as a team on Friday. And that's why I feel that we're really close to where we want to be as a team.
If you're going to get to where you want to be this season, give me a couple keys to that.
Continue the course. We have a team meeting today just to recap on what we've done so far and what we have ahead. We're still really early in the year. Our players said that our schedule is extremely tough. We don't have a break, but that is going to make us stronger. And it's all how you finish, it's not how you start. So we just have to continue the course, continue to get better, 1% every day. Control what we can control. That's all we can do, and hopefully no more injuries through the year.
Well, I'm going to wish you guys good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
We'll definitely be watching.
Thank you.
And stay tuned. We'll be back in a minute.
Want a quick snack before classes? Stop by the atrium during first break for a variety of bagels, $1.50 each. All proceeds are going to sponsor faculty riders at the Dolphins Cancer Challenge on February 29th.
Welcome back to Inside Gulliver Athletics. Now joining us the leader of our student section, Olivia Connor. And I'm shaking your hand. Good to see you. So, Olivia, let's talk about, where you kind of got the passion to have the school spirit that you have so far. You've been doing a really, really good job with our student section.
Oh, thank you. I feel like school pride has always been something very important to me. I've always wanted to kind of re-energize like the Gulliver pride here, which is very lacking at points. And I feel like the football games is something that has really brought us together as a community, really lifted everyone's spirits, and just established a really strong sense of community and togetherness.
Talk about some of the initiatives that we have done with this year's Blue Zoo, and that's one of the things we've named the student section.
Yes.
Go ahead and elaborate on that.
So we've kind of tried to have a theme for each one of our football games to promote student participation at the games. So we also gave out towels, we gave out free t-shirts, we had a navy out, we had a white out and a gray out. We had the faculty appreciation
I think that's
activity.
it, yeah. Talk about some of the feedback that you've received from students that have been a part of these events.
I think people have had a lot of fun attending the football games. We are also trying to promote more events. Like leaders of other athletics are coming up and trying to find ways that we can get students to attend like swim meets and golf meets as well. But I think everyone is just having a lot of fun with it, and it's really bringing all of us together.
Talk about some of the other events. You mentioned, swimming. I know we have something particularly coming up for them potentially, and then, obviously volleyball and some other events. Elaborate on that a little bit.
So for the volleyball games, we're really trying to get everyone hyped up about it to go, especially to the big games, because it's hard to get a lot of people to go to every single game. And then for the upcoming swim meet, we're trying to do a breakfast buffet because it's going to be in the morning, and we want people to come to the swim meets because they don't get the recognition that they deserve.
Working with our student athlete leadership group that you're also a part of, what has that been like? I know we had a couple meetings here early on. How's that been?
It's been really good, I think. I think it was a very good initiative to bring together all the different sports and see how the leaders of those athletics can create new ways to get people to either get involved or just to come watch if you're not involved in a sport. And we're coming up with a lot of ideas about how to present that. Like we're coming up with like the Student Athlete Leadership Council t-shirts as well as the Blue Zoo t-shirts.
What is your experience? Obviously you're a senior here now. What has your experience been like here at Gulliver?
Gulliver has been like a second home to me. It's honestly been amazing. Everything I've ever been involved in has made me just so happy, and I feel so comfortable with everyone here on campus.
I know you're involved with some unique things outside of Gulliver. I believe you have a book coming out. Go into that. Tell us what it's about and what inspired you to write it.
So I'm publishing my 4th book right now, and these last 3 have been part of a collection on civic values. And I was really inspired by taking my global politics class last year and really learning about the ethics side of politics. So this book coming out right now is on inclusion, and the one that was just published is on equity. And I feel like these are kind of the same values that we apply here at Gulliver. This year it's inclusion and diversity. So a lot of parallels between the two.
So I'm definitely going to read the book, looking forward to it. What are give us a few nuggets in the book that's coming out on inclusion?
Well, it is a children's book, and basically it is a parallel between humans and animals. So the animal is a sheep, because sheep live in herds, and it's basically about how even when you're around people that are very different from you, there's still a way to include everyone, and we have commonalities between each and every one of us.
I know you've been doing some work in some of the inner cities. Elaborate on that work a little bit.
So my friend and I started a program a few years back called Breakout Volleyball, and really we work to establish a foundation of volleyball basics in girls in inner cities that otherwise wouldn't have the opportunity to learn how to play. But besides just playing volleyball, it really promotes values such as teamwork, discipline, and diligence.
What inspired you to do that, and where have you done it around Miami?
So I've always felt very privileged going to Gulliver and being able to play in a variety of different club teams for volleyball. And I've also had the opportunity to travel around the country for that and really get to know people through that. And I feel like it was only right to be able to give other people the opportunity to do the same thing. So we've worked at 2 schools. One is called Toussaint Louverture Elementary School, and the other one is Matter Academy.
Well, I want to wish you good luck in all your endeavors. You're really making a difference here at Gulliver.
Thank you so much.
You've been great in my 3 months here with Gulliver Athletics. You've been doing everything we've asked you to do and more, so you've been an outstanding leader. So keep up the great work.
Thank you so much, Mr. Childress.
And that's going to do it for this week inside Gulliver Athletics. We look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks.